Oh, does it have egg in it? It's eggnog? I asked for just the nog. Okay, you know what? Gonna try to stay in the holiday spirit here. All right, it's Christmas, and I was just doing a little reading. And one of my favorite stories to read at Christmas time is 'Twas the Night After Christmas. Much different than the night before, because, well, let me just read it to you. But before I do, click those like and subscribe buttons. It might not get you off the naughty list, but it's a start. You do not want to be on the naughty list. Here we go. 'Twas the night after Christmas, and all through the home lay Amazon boxes and white styrofoam. The gift wrap still scattered all over the floor from the presents we opened just hours before. My wife got a lavender blanket with sleeves. The kids got a bouncy house made in Belize. And I got an item I just had to own. A playoff game shoe signed by Karl Malone. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, their tablet screens barely an inch from their heads. My wife in her Snuggie and I in my coat had just settled down to watch Murder, She Wrote. When on the front steps, there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my chair to see what was the matter. I opened the door to a bright iPhone flash from the driver completing my latest DoorDash. A Nachos Bel Grande with no sour cream, and also a big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme. I picked up the bag, then I brought in the rest of the packages sent to my mailing address. But then came a twinkling sound from my phone, a notification that chilled to the bone. My bank had just sent me a statement alert. My account was as red as my holiday shirt. At first I was angry and I wanted to cuss. What if they cut off my Paramount Plus? And that's when it hit me, like 10 tons of brick. I felt so embarrassed, my tummy was sick. A negative balance, account overdrawn. I knew right away why my money was gone. It wasn't a hacker, it was my shopping spree. It's me, hi, I'm the problem. It's me. My wallet was empty, my savings all blown, cause I spent $7,000 on a night vision drone. I also bought paddles for pickleball practice and a handcrafted 5-foot-tall flaming steel cactus. I thought about how much I spent at Walmart and the weird things online that I added to cart, like a shake weight, some milk duds, a fishing canoe, and a bootleg recording of Sister Act 2. Then I ordered some clothes for our elf on the shelf and paid hundreds to name a star after myself. My new LG TV is bigger than Texas, and my wife will soon find out I financed a Lexus. I bought courtside seats to a Globetrotters game and a horse that most likely does not know my name. Then to Target and Costco, I flew with a flash, and of course I used plastic. I didn't have cash. Now Visa, now MasterCard, Amex, Discover. I swiped and I swiped one after the other. I'll pay it off later. Now on to the mall. I'll afterpay all. Now before we move on with the rest of this rhyme, let's talk about how to stay safer online. Your personal info can be found on the net from the big data brokers. A real cyber threat. Your personal data can be sold with ease to scammers and spammers who do as they please. But Delete Me steps in and with all of their might removes your data from these shady sites. So give yourself peace, avoid the hackers and spies, and if you hate spam, here's a word to the wise. Join deleteme.com/George is the way to get 20% off from Delete Me today. And before you stop watching and start scrolling Pinterest, let me tell you a story of earning high interest. 'Twas a night much like this, and all through the land, people hoped their savings would finally expand. Their funds sat in banks with rates dismally low, while dreams of high yields had no place to grow. But Laurel Road heard, and with savings in sight, offered high-yield savings accounts, merry and bright. So now every dollar can grow through the year, with savings that sparkle like holiday cheer. This season, give your money a lift that won't fade. Head to laurelroad.com/George and start getting paid. Now back to our story. Where were we? Oh yes. My bad money choices were causing me stress. And the money I paid for this Taco Bell sack was the straw that had broken this poor camel's back. I stood there in silence on a mountain of debt, and I looked at my packages filled with regret. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a little orange book a friend gave me last year. So I grabbed Breaking Free from Broke right off the shelf, and I laughed when I read it, in spite of myself. I saw on the cover, this book doth profess to be the ultimate guide to more money and less stress. And I started to realize my judgment had lapsed. I fell for the trends, so I fell for the traps. But thankfully now I knew just what to do. For starters, I had to sell Karl Malone's shoe. So I put it on eBay and bid it adieu. And just like that, we were on baby step 2. Then we ate rice and beans as we paid off our debts, we made smarter choices and had less regrets. And now we're debt-free and our mortgage is paid, all because we lived on less than we made. We now have more margin to save and invest and give and bless others as we have been blessed. So this year at Christmas, we dashed Taco Bell and left a big tip for the driver, Danielle. And I heard her exclaim as she drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." And that's only page 4.
That was a beautiful story.
As I reflect on the gifts and blessings in my life, you guys watching this channel all year is high on the list of things I'm thankful for. We're having a good time learning about money, making progress on our goals, and that's the gift that keeps on giving. So from the whole team that pulls this thing off, Merry Christmas. And remember to spend wisely, save intentionally, and give generously. And if you're clamoring for more holiday cheer, watch this next video if you see it up here. It's an ad for my music, which never premiered, A Very Kamel Christmas, a feast for your ears. You can also use the link in description below. And Merry Christmas to all. Thanks for watching my show.